My feet start to hurt, but Rin doesn't seem inclined to move on. Emmy speaks up. Hey Rin, have you eaten? Of course, you can't survive otherwise. What about in the past 5 hours? Maybe, but I'm hungry again, so maybe that means I'm wrong. Emmy grins and claps her hands together. Good, come get some food with us. Some healthy food. Rin nods in assent. Okay, but we should hurry before they notice I'm gone. Somehow I don't think they'd care. Whoever they are. Yeah, who are they talking about? As we head back to the food stalls, I cast a longing eye over the fried food. No, I'd better not. I'm pretty sure Emmy wouldn't let me. Anyway, we find a nice spot in the grass and sit down to eat our purchases. Well, my purchases, anyway. Somehow I've wound up paying for all the food. Good for you. Surprisingly, my unfried food is pretty good. Silence falls as Emmy and I eat, and Rin stares at something or other, occasionally eating a bite or two of her food. I finish my meal first and lay back on the grass. Emmy glances up from her food. Tired, Hisao? A little, I guess. Well, don't oversleep or anything tomorrow morning. We start our morning runs, remember? Actually, they'd slipped my mind. I was actually just enjoying myself. Wandering around the festival with these two has actually been fun. Yeah, I'll set an alarm. You'd better be there. I'll get angry if you aren't. God forbid. I don't think God comes into it. Unless there's some kind of freak accident and your alarm clock shorts out. That might be a random act of God. Well, don't cause any random acts of God, then. A plan forms itself in my mind. It's a plan that makes me feel kind of guilty, but I throw it into execution anyway. Damn it, I've earned a little fried food. And anyway, I'm going to start running tomorrow, right? Don't eat the fried food. So the actual routine all starts then, not now. Ergo, the dietary portion starts tomorrow too. Ergo, I can have something unhealthy today. A sort of final farewell to all the stuff I used to eat with while abandoned before the hospital. Actually, I suppose I should head back to my room. I had some homework to do, and if I'm going to run in the morning, I should make it an early night. Those narrowed eyes again. You sure you're not just going to sneak out and buy some of that fried stuff over there? Nah, I'm too full to bother now. I've had my stomach for emphasis. Besides, you two have cleaned me out anyway. And the giggles, it's a surprisingly pleasant sound. Another pang of guilt. She's got to know that I'm lying to her, doesn't she? Or is she just that trusting? I feel kind of like a monster. You are a monster. All part of my master plan, Hisao. Well, I guess I'll see you tomorrow morning then. Thanks for the food and for keeping us company. And here I thought she was doing me a favor. Rin nods in agreement. I won't say see you tomorrow, but that would be because that would be like predicting the future. I'm pretty sure I can't do that. Okay. Bye, you two. I feel oddly glad that I decided to leave my room today. Not a bad way to start my second week here, I suppose. Once I'm sure I'm out of Emmy's line of sight, I make a beeline over the food stands and buy some cake. At least it's not fried, right? That's slightly better than what I was planning to do. I still feel a little bad about lying to Emmy, though. She really does seem concerned about my health. I'll make it up to her somehow. Better head back to my room. Hey, I do have work to do. My book waits for me, and I flop on my bed and read through the fireworks display. Eventually, all the waiting around, or more accurately, running around, catches up with me. I really am out of shape. And me dragging me out in the morning to run might just be a good thing after all. It's something to look forward to. Oh, we must be on Emmy's route. Then that must be Hisao. Well, there we are, left behind in the dirt. Oop. Nope, Emmy's helping us. Cute. I do like that they have these animation scenes in it and expect them to. Oh, an apple? Apples are good. Oh, we're helping Emmy up. This is just a cute sequence in general. I probably should be quiet during it. Act 2 form. I'm usually quiet during, what's it called? Cutscenes. Don't know why I couldn't think of the word cutscenes. My alarm's beeping shadows the early morning quiet, and I find myself wondering where to find the motivation to rise. Class is still quite far off, but I agreed to run with Emmy in the mornings. Really, I'm not that interested in running as a hobby or even as a possible life-lengthening exercise. However, I feel obligated to follow through on my promise to Emmy yesterday, which is why I find myself throwing on some running shorts and a light t-shirt. The cool morning air caresses my face as the morning sunshine causes the dew on the grass to sparkle, nearly blinding me at first. As I make my way down the track, an ugly thought strikes me. What if this is some sort of joke that Emmy's playing on me? I doubt that's what Emmy would do. Would that surprise me, really? Yeah, kinda. It'd surprise me. Hell, I'd probably do it to the new guy, too. I wouldn't. At the very least, I'm sure Emmy and Rin made a bet on whether or not I'd actually show up. I feel a sense of trepidation as the track comes into view. I know it's trepidation, or however you say it. I can't say it again now, but I forget what it means.
Trepidation.
I said it right, trepidation. A feeling of fear or agitation about something that may happen. I feel a sense of trepidation as the track comes into view. You're late. It would seem that Emmy is already there. What a relief. Not according to my watch, we both are early, in fact. Damn, you've got me there. Emmy is sitting on the bleachers, decked out in her running gear, waiting somewhat patiently for me. I'm glad you're actually here. I was afraid that this was a joke or something. Nah, I never make someone get up early for nothing. Yeah, see? Good on her. Plus, Ren owes me 500 yen now. She didn't think you'd actually show up. I knew it. Nice to know Emmy was on my side, at least. I think Emmy's just a trusting person. Emmy hops off of the bleachers and begins stretching out. She's remarkably lithe, almost like a dancer. I think that's how you pronounce that, lithe. I need to stop doing this.
Lithe.
Okay. Thin, supple, and graceful. She's remarkably lithe, almost like a dancer. I set out to stretch as well, but then realized I don't exactly remember how to stretch properly. It's been ages since I stretched for anything, if you don't count my one stint at running last week. And even then, I don't think I actually stretched beforehand. The specter of my long hospital stay rises up again. I can't say I was all that active before the hospital stay, though, so maybe I'm just being morose. Emmy giggles as she watches me stretch out. No, Hisao, you've got to hold it for longer than that. I'm trying. It kinda hurts a little. Ha, that's because you're out of shape. You've got to get some flexibility in you, like this. To demonstrate, Emmy reaches down and puts her head through her legs. God bless you, Emmy. I see, is that the sort of thing I should strive for? Of course, flexibility is important for any runner. You'll be able to go faster the more you stretch out. That makes no sense to me, but Emmy seems to believe it's true. With Emmy's help, I managed to stretch myself out properly. I mean, it might work. I mean, if you're more limber, you might run better or faster. I can't help but notice that when she thinks about how to explain things to me, her mouth scrunches up in concentration. It's adorable. Not bad, Hisao. Come on, we'd better start running. We'll start off with just a mile, okay? Just a mile. That's 4 laps around the track. Got it? That sounds fine to me. I guess it is starting short. It shouldn't be too hard, right? A hazy memory of running a mile for gym class surfaces in my mind. Yeah, it wasn't that bad. And it sets a pretty good pace, and I fall in behind her. Try to keep up, okay, Hisao? Roger. Roger Dodger. We round the first curve without incident, though I can already feel my heart rate increasing slightly. I don't know why I saluted. Well, you couldn't see it, but that's what I did. By the second curve, I've started to breathe through my mouth. Emmy doesn't even seem to be breaking a sweat. As if to punctuate her superiority, she turns around and starts running backwards. Come on, Slowpoke. Are you doing okay, Hisao? Never better. Oh, really? Maybe I should speed up then. Oh, no. Wouldn't want you to to overexert yourself. My heavy panting and wheezing makes the statement less convincing than I had hoped. Emmy simply smiles and turns around again. You're the boss, Hisao. We'll stay at this pace. I get the feeling that I'm being mocked. If I weren't in such terrible shape, I'd probably feel offended. By the third lap, my breath is coming in ragged gasps. I'm also awash in my own sweat. Gross. We round the curve to start our fourth lap, and Emmy looks back at me with a grin. Here we go. She takes off at a blinding speed while I stubbornly stick to my slower pace. By the time I get to the first turn, she's already rounding the second. As I struggle across the backstretch, Emmy continues running and catches up to me. Come on, Hisao, you can do it. I had to answer her, but I'm too focused on getting errands while I'm ignoring the burning in my leg muscles. Part of me wants to say something like, maybe you can, but I'm about to die here. But again, I doubt I can actually form words right now. Emmy keeps pace with me as I round the second turn across the finish line. Her sprint seems to have gotten her sweating. It actually caused her shirt to turn slightly translucent. It seems she wears a black sports bra. I feel a vague stab of guilt for being the sort of guy who stares at the girl's chest, but my legs and chest are burning so badly I can't bring myself to care that much. Not bad for a first effort, Hisao. Kind of you to say so. What scene is this? Morning run. And he seems to be, if not out of breath, at least breathing a little more heavily than she was before we started. It must have been the final sprint that did it. It must have been the sprint that did it. I don't know why I added the word final in there. Hey, I've got to get a few sprints in. You should walk around the track to cool down. Then we can stretch out and we'll be all done, okay? Sounds great. My legs are on fire, my breathing is still heavy, but surprisingly my heart seems to be taking the strain well. Another triumph of medical science, I suppose. You should put your hands behind your head, it makes it easier to catch your breath. Is it true? Huh, I didn't know that if it's true. Surprisingly, she's right. I begin to stroll around the track, happy to feel my breath coming back to me. There's a blur as Emmy sprints by me. Watching her run is absolutely fascinating. It's not just because she's on prosthetics, though that is interesting. The really interesting is the way her face changes. I only catch glimpses of it as she runs by, but her eyes seem to come alive with a sort of fierce joy. This is a cute CG. It's as if there's nothing else in the world but her and the track.